It is time once again for this good-smelling comics of the week, the best-smelling comics of the week, brought to you by your favorite comic monkeys in all of the internet land. That's right, the new episode of Comics Should Smell Good is finally here. It's okay, breathe easy now, I know. We have a lot of stuff this week, so we're just going to kind of get right to it. Let's start with Mr. Morgan at the end over there.
Okay, I'm going to start with something I am extremely excited about that I didn't even know was coming out until this weekend, and I still am not totally clear on what it is. This is Starstruck, Old Prolgers Never Die. Starstruck is an amazing piece of multimedia fiction, started in the 70s. Elaine Lee, Michael William Kaluta produced a graphic novel series slash live stage show slash like serialized stories in heavy metal. It's like this amazing sci-fi epic that spans across so many different iterations, but never have I ever been able to sort out what order any of them go in, whether or not any of the comics actually adapt the story of the play, because that's the main story, and everything else that I've read is like prequels or just random side stories. I don't get it, but I love it. It's beautiful through and through. This series was kickstarted, I believe, a few years ago, and is now seeing print from IDW with what was advertised as 50% new art by Kaluta. Again, I don't know what it means, but I love it. It's really, really, really pretty. It's got really amazing character design, super over-the-top, like European style. Everyone's wearing like weird harnesses and like cod pieces and football helmets, and it's cool. A really, really unique sci-fi aesthetic that you're not going to find in any run-of-the-mill Image sci-fi comic.
No. Speaking of Image, I am going to be a total Image shill this week. I've got a few things. First off, some second printings of very popular books that came out in the last month or so. We've got Curse Words, Charles Soule, Ryan Brown, Wizard in LA doing horrible things because wizards are assholes.
True.
This is just a known fact. I hope you've read The Wizard by local creator Brandon Lehman.
Or Kill the Wizard by local creator Mark Allender.
Boom.
All about why wizards suck.
Yeah, one of which has a complete just jackass wizard as a main character, and then the other one you actually get to see get some comeuppance. This is the second printing, and Ryan Brown brought you God Hates Astronauts from Image, which was awesome. Charles Soule writes a lot of stuff for Marvel now. A lot of stuff. And also, issue 2 is out as well with Giant Centaur Man. Very, very cool. And then from Sean Lewis, who did the Saints book for Image, and Hayden Sherman, we have The Few, which is seeing a second print this week, which has got some really, really cool, scratchy, nasty art, kind of dystopian The Few, rising against the many, where lots of cool kind of, a little bit of Mad Maxy thing, lots of forest, and yeah, it's just got a cool feel. Also, issue 2 comes out where a new ally is made, a utopia is on the hunt, which I don't really know how it's possible, and a resistance lying in wait. But yes, this one has more motorcycles and some robots, and some actually really, really cool city shots. So yeah, definitely digging both of these, and if you missed number 1, we have them back in stock.
My first pick of the week is Elektra #1, a brand new series with the femme fatale from Daredevil. This is actually 3 awesome new books starring the cast of Daredevil. There's Bullseye, and Kingpin is getting his own series as well. But Elektra is heading to Las Vegas. She's trying to leave her life behind, cut loose a little bit, and not just with the size, but she runs smack into a classic X-Men villain. I'm not giving this away because it's already been out on the internets. It's Arcade,
right,
which I'm
thanks,
really...
Oh, really?
Exactly, thanks, internets.
Arcade?
Yeah, see, I'm
Love
sorry I
Arcade.
spoiled it for you.
Who I thought was dead by the end of Dennis Hopeless's second
how
Young
did
Avengers
he
series.
not
but
die a horrible death?
LMD.
Yeah.
It was a Doom bot.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's always a Doom bot.
Yeah, he's one of those great X-Men villains who was just like from back in the Claremont Byrne era, and he's going after Elektra, so you know it's going to be good. I can't wait to see what kind of mind games he's playing, and really I like the art on this, and I'm just excited for Elektra. New costume, new look, and with a new kind of villain.
Alright, talk about something that has a new look. Kamandi Challenge number 2. So the first issue was totally insane, drawn by Dale Eaglesham, one of
Gorgeously
the
drawn.
best superhero artists of this
So,
generation. And this issue is drawn by Neil Adams, one of the greatest superhero artists of all time. So already this book, which, if you haven't noticed, has an entirely different creative team every single issue and will throughout its 12-issue run, really just kind of offers up some of the most talent you're going to find at DC. It's Neil Adams' craziness straight through and through. If you liked Batman Odyssey, you know, one of 12 people who liked it.
Right.
If you liked Superman, what was that?
The
Return?
Coming of the Superman.
Coming of the Superman.
Yes,
Yeah, that's it.
awesome.
Which, yeah. If
So
you haven't
good.
seen, like, Lex Luthor just talking shit on Darkseid for a solid, like, 5 pages,
Yeah.
you really need to go check that book out.
Yeah.
And there's a writing twist with each one because each creative team leaves you with a cliffhanger, and the new team has to resolve it and start a new tale and then pick it up. So,
Yeah.
kind of interesting experiment in writing as well.
It's cool, and they also show you in the back of each issue how the previous writer would get out of the challenge, which is really quite cool. So a little behind-the-scenes action as well. More Image comics. Big new #1 from the man that brought you Lazarus. This is Greg Rucka and Leandro Fernandez's The Old Guard, and the art in this is amazing. Leandro Fernandez is really quite good. And this is a fairy tale of blood and bullets. It's a story of one woman and 3 men who cannot die, mostly. It's a story about time and age and ages, and about friendship and love and regret. And if you ever read anything by Greg Rucka, he really is a phenomenal writer. Does really great, strong female characters usually as well. And his stuff always has a very kind of noir twinge to it, even when he's not trying to. Things usually just go wrong. But there's just these great spreads, lots of cool like paramilitary action. So if you've been waiting for more Lazarus, because clearly that book's not coming out right now, it's on break. It will be back, but want to delve into another fun sci-fi world that is probably very well thought out, I recommend to you The Old Guard.
My next pick is Justice League America #1 Rebirth issue. Was just a couple weeks ago, coming out of the big Justice League Suicide Squad war. So Batman has assembled his own kind of Justice League squad. It's got some great heroes that you know, like Vixen and Black Canary. It brings back the Ray, the Atom, but it's also got some rogue anti-heroes. You got Lobo, you got a reformed, Killer Frost. What's the coolest thing about this is, you know Batman has all his bat this and bat this and bat this that he rides? Well, Lobo's kind of got his own, like, Lobo kind of like water ski, jet ski thing with a skull on it. That's awesome. But Steve Orlando and Ivan Reis, it's a really cool collection of characters, and the Extremists and Lord Havoc have showed up, and so you have these kind of extreme kind of heroes taking on some super extreme villains. So really excited to see where this is going to go. A lot of fun, weird mix of characters, which I think will make a great chemistry for the book.
All right. So my next book here is a blast from the extremely recent past. Sun Bakery, #1. Yeah, you've seen this before. I've seen this before. He's seen this before. I don't know if you read it. You should have, honestly.
I will now.
Local legend Corey Lewis is responsible for this one-man anthology previously being published by, what was that? Alternative?
All Press Study Group.
All Press Study Group. Some awesome dudes down in Portland. But he's recently actually moved the book over to Image, and they've been kind enough to reprint this first issue for everybody who missed out on it. Might have been like, oh, well, my shop doesn't order things from anyone that's not in, like, the top 75% of the market share. But it has a new home, new printing, and actually, like, 3 new pages of comics in the back here, which I love. Personally, I always love new comics.
Yeah.
New comics from Corey Lewis? Yes, please. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the new Shark Knife series that's going to be debuting in here.
Yes.
Honestly, just pick the book up. Just get it. Get it.
Excellent. It's really quite good.
Unlike some other anthologies coming out, you'll actually have each story continued in the next issue.
Yeah. And it finishes like there's conclusion. It's amazing. My next book, also from Image still. Loose Ends #2, This is something I'm very excited to see alive again. This was a cult favorite 10 years ago by Jason Latour, Chris Brunner, and Rico Renzi before any of them had really gained much popularity. And it was produced by 12 Gauge Comics. They did oversized issues, and only 3 of 4 ever came out. And now they're finally going to finish it. It is a Southern crime romance. And for those of you who are digging Southern Bastards, I really recommend this. But this second issue is, in the bigger ones, was my favorite one, where they had a little bit more, but it's got some great flashback stuff. I really like stories where they kind of gracefully drop in nice flashbacks that expand upon what's happening and give you kind of deeper motivations behind the characters. There's some great color stuff. And the crew rolls into Las Vegas, where drugs and drinking and debauchery ensue. And Chris Brunner draws some amazing, like, emojis, I guess, for lack of a better word, that go around in people's heads and are really quite cool way of visually showing kind of what happens in their brain. But we still have issue 1 left. Very, very highly recommended if you're looking for some good crime stuff. And really well drawn, really well colored image books.
I have IVX. I got it right this week. Avengers vs. X-Men.
Oh my god, you just said Avengers again.
Did I just do
Yeah,
it?
you did. You
Literally
almost
just-
got it right.
I do it every time.
Every time.
I'm really nostalgic
Ow.
for that. It's
Right.
X-Men versus Inhumans.
Wow,
Damn
you
it.
almost did it again.
I did it again. Anyway,
Do you need flashcards?
I think I do.
Sam
Sam, could you give me some
could,
little
like,
cards
hold
over
out
here?
a flashcard, yeah.
Because it's not just the 2 teams fighting for their genetic existence on planet Earth as the Terrigen goes around you. What's awesome about this is you've got Karnak versus Fantomex inside the world, if you remember Grant Morrison's X-Men
Dude,
run.
that's going to be badass.
That's kind of crazy. And then you've got Colossus versus Gorgon, and then you've got the X-Men were kind of on the run. They kind of beat the Inhumans, but now Medusa's going after her secret weapon, and this is... Thank you for the He's got a little Inhumans up above there, you know. It's, anyway.
From the amazing Paul Jenkins and JLA.
Exactly.
Holy
So,
crap.
Okay, take that down. You're throwing me out. But what's here? This is the next to the last issue. as I like it.
Penultimate.
Thank you. The next to the
There you
last
go.
issue, and it's also going to be the wrap up of the big run of the Avengers. I mean, damn it, I did it again.
Wow, see, he took
Bring
it
it back.
away.
Bring it back,
Bring it
Sam.
away. That's
Bring
it.
the
That's it.
I'm just getting at the age where I have to be reminded. The Inhumans. Marvel's gonna say, like, get it right. The Inhumans.
Marvel's
and
gonna
the
take you
X-Men.
behind the shed, man.
Exactly.
Right, those checks are going to stop coming, Will.
Exactly. So anyway, just take it over now.
Okay, yeah. My last book is certainly actually about inhuman things. Presenting the story that nobody really wanted to know, but is being told. The Visitor and How He Stayed. From the world of Hellboy. Written, well, okay. Plotted by
Yeah.
Mike Mignola. Written by Chris Roberson and drawn by Paul Grist. Who is, I've been like,
Dude.
I've finally been digging into his like back issues lately. Burglar Bill, I wasn't reading it when it came out, but I'm already furious that it never finished. But he's really one of the best cartoonists of the last 20
Yeah,
years.
he is phenomenal.
So good. And he's bringing his unique style featured on Mudman, Burglar Bill, Jack Staff, Kane. And bring it to that alien that showed up for like 3 pages in Conqueror Worm. Yeah. Back when there were aliens in Hellboy.
That's right.
It's like I said, I don't think anyone was really clamoring for this story. Everyone was just kind of like, well, Mike Mignola, you know, he used to like every genre, and then he was just like, it's going to be all mythology all the time, man.
Right.
We just decided it would never get followed up on. But hey, now that the main story is over, we can finally get back to all that stuff. Maybe we'll even finally figure out what's up with the monkey with the gun. Who knows?
Or why Hellboy doesn't like pancakes. I mean, that's a pretty serious thing.
Everybody likes pancakes.
I know.
Yeah.
And there is Little Hellboy in there. I love
Yeah.
Little Hellboy. Little Hellboy with the army outfit, you know, and the big dopey, like, horns and the big arm. I would watch a movie
The arm that's
that.
like the size of his torso.
I know. I'm all about it.
Love it.
And my final pick
Wow.
is this monstrous, mighty stack Omanga here. One of the greatest cyberpunk things to ever be put on paper, The Ghost in the Shell. You might have heard about this movie that's coming out soon with lots of Okay, I'm going to refrain that. With Scarlett Johansson.
Whites.
That's right. With no Asian people except Beat Takeshi. Which is going to be amazing.
Who honestly makes up for everything.
He does,
to
actually.
say it.
He's like a whole cast of Asian people, actually. But this sees, for the first time ever in its like 20-year publication history of reprints in America, the original right-to-left format and the original Japanese sound effects. If you've ever read anything by Shiro, his sound effects are a pure work of art. They are completely and utterly ingrained into the panels and into the action, and translating them from their awesome, cool symbols into English is really bad. It just doesn't work. You don't need to know what it says. In fact, it shows you what it says. It's totally like transcends language with that, and it's really more of like a pictorial thing. So we have, of course, the original one, the Ghost in the Shell Deluxe Edition hardcover. And for those who have just watched the anime, never read the manga, there is a whole lot more going on in the manga. They did add a bunch in the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, but there's a ton of cool humor, gags, and more science footnotes than you could shake a stick at. This dude is insane. Like, anything that he brings at you technologically, he breaks it down as to how it's going to work, because he's insane. We have the sequel, number 2, which I can most liken to as Dark Knight Returns, or Dark Knight Strikes Again, which was amazing. Don't give me that look. I know you guys are giving me that look. You're wrong. Okay, we're just going to put it at that. Thank you. There's too many books. But this one takes place many years later, where the Major, Makoto, is not a main character, and it is also after Shiro discovered the computer. And it's pretty polarizing as far as whether you're really into that or not, but I really respect it because it continues the world and the themes and the idea of the story without, hinging on the main character. And then the last one here is one that was done after number 2. This is 1.5, which kind of fills in some gaps in between, which has a lot more original art, or traditional art, than the computer stuff. It is also another great exploration of the main people you see in the standalone complex, which is the rest of the crew, like Bato and Togusa and stuff like that. So if you want to bone up before the movie, and you really want to get some badass cyberpunk in you, highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's only like $30, and yeah, you need this in your life.
My final pick is Extraordinary X-Men number 19, mainly because I love Magic. I'll just admit I was never a fan of Magic.
Magic's awesome.
I was never a fan until Brian Michael Bendis. That, with the whole thing with Doctor Strange and Romana, that made me a huge fan.
That was a great issue.
And then Jeff Lemire took it over and made it a big part of his Extraordinary X-Men run. So not only is this a great tie-in issue with Inhumans versus X-Men, I got it right that time, but it also kind of is an epilogue to the awesome thing, kind of that Kingdoms Fall storyline, if you were a fan of that, when Magic took on the Ingenue, Sapna, and it picks up on that, and Eric Koda, who I'm not familiar with that.
Never. Yeah.
But I don't know who you are, dude, but
badass.
Someone needs to hire you full-time on something, because he does some amazing work. There's some weird... it's not just the typical, this is in color and this is in black and white, but it's got some really cool things that help tell the story of, what's going on in the IVX battle, and then what's going on with Sapna and the supernatural war, the undead thing. So,
really
cool. So I don't know who your editors are. Like, this guy needs to be on all the time, doing something. I don't know what it is, but that needs to happen. So says we.
That's right. So say the comic monkeys.
So there you go. You get 3 paws up. And a banana.
Yeah, so and a banana.
And if you love Magic, you'll love this issue.
Alright, guys, that's good. 3 paws up and a banana. I think that's good.
There you go. That's our new rating system.
That is a new rating system.